What do I enjoy the most about my classroom right now? The kids. You can't do it without the kids. The thing I enjoy most about teaching is the environment that you get to cultivate, and then the people that then come into that environment, and the way that their creativity can flourish and just go off the rails. That's my favorite part of being in a classroom. Hi, my name is Moriah Blake. I'm a former student of Taft Academy. I'm also in cohort 13 of the Martinez Fellowship. So I started at Taft Academy at 6th grade. So I was there from 6th grade to 10th grade. And I heard about it through a family friend who was attending my parents' church. And he was talking about how he was trying to decide between an internship at Microsoft and Fred Hutch. And the fact that that was happening at 10th grade made my parents go, yep, that's where my kids are going. So we heard about it through then, and I was there like next year. I grew up in Federal Way, actually, so Taft was pretty close to my home, my city. My family, I am the youngest daughter of Pastor Bill and Davina Blake, which means we lived right next to the church. That was my whole life. A big part of what they wanted for me and my siblings was good careers, happy families, all that good stuff I think that normal people want for their children. And because of that, Taft was a huge motivation for or a huge wave that they saw to pushing us towards being our best self. They heard about 6th graders being taught about college and career readiness, and that was it for us. That was part of my family generation. We would walk in excellence was a huge thing for the Blake family. So. My first year at Taft was awesome. I remember I did the summer program before, so I got to make a bunch of friends, which is good. But the first year was transformational. I remember getting my own laptop. And I just thought that was amazing that they trusted me, a little 6th grader, to have my own laptop, my own things. I remember being asked to do stuff at Taft that I was never asked to do before. I was asked to be in Socratic seminars. I was doing project-based learning. I had poster boards and random things from around the classroom, and it was my responsibility to facilitate my learning. It was completely new for me. My first teacher of color was Carlito Umali. That was the first teacher I ever had who I felt like understood me, who I walked in the classroom and he was playing Mary J. Blige type of teacher. That was the first real connection I had. I'm sure there's a bunch of experiences, but summer of 2017, at the same time I was volunteering at Bose Elementary in Tacoma for their STEM program, I was also a content intern at Smart Technologies. So this was a paid internship, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Troy Hilton. But it was awesome. I got to work with a group of people my age and discuss workflow and decide how we were going to attack projects at 14, 15 years old. So a lot of great experiences. I remember also we used to do college and career fairs and stuff like that, astronomy nights, exhibitions, you name it. Taft had it. It was great. I mean, being able to be in the room with people that you knew were from huge companies like Microsoft and Google and even Fred Hutch. And I mean, everyone, they used to do these amazing tours. We'd have student ambassadors bring people from all over into our rooms. And just knowing that people who have achieved great success in our city were interested in who we were as learners, and getting the opportunity to connect with them face to face was a great experience. As I said, I was the daughter of Pastor Bill and Davina, which meant I was going to college. I didn't really have an option, but I think my time at Taft made it so I wanted to go to college, not just because my parents said I had to, but because I wanted to be someone who was excellent, who was passionate about what I did and just did it well. I remember from 6th to 8th grade, I wanted to be a forensic anthropologist. So it wasn't until like probably 9th grade, 10th grade, where I decided I wanted to be a teacher. I started to write Miss Blake on all my assignments, and my teachers, the office admin would just accept it. And I think the support I got, I remember hearing about the Martinez Fellowship even back then. My Carlito Umali, he was a Martinez Fellow. There are other people at that school who were fellows, who were teachers who loved what they did. And I think that just inspired me to take the path of education. Also, Taft being a school that does address cultural responsiveness, that does address diversity and inclusion, and realizing that education would be a career where I got to attack some of the injustices that I'm absolutely not okay with in my community, that allowed me to pursue advocacy for students and communities, just realizing that education could be more than slapping a problem on the board, but you can engage students, you can change lives. Taft was the pathway to me doing that. I decided to pursue teaching, one, in part for the possibilities for cultural advocacy, the idea that I'd be able to be a representation as a woman of color in a classroom, that students could look at me and see themselves. I also chose teaching for the idea that I like the idea of shaping and cultivating learning, regardless of whether it's like foundational or it's like more advanced in their years. I like the idea of being able to take curriculum, make it culturally responsive and meaningful for the student, and then teach it in a way that's gonna be able to apply it in their real life and apply it to life outside of the classroom. And teaching just seems like the right pathway for me. Being a Martinez Fellow has been life-changing. And I know people throw around life-changing a lot, but in the sense that it has given me access to a community of BIPOC educators who are passionate about not letting the standard norm of whatever life is right now stay. They're passionate about disrupting systems that have for so long oppressed people of color. And it's just this amazing, almost you feel like you have a whole community that's got your back, where you have the confidence to walk into predominantly white spaces and exist as who you are, walk into classrooms and be who you are. As a teacher, or as an early career teacher who thought that I would have to change everything about myself, who thought I would have to straighten my hair and talk white to be accepted into all these different spaces, the Martinez Fellowship has given me that confidence to say, I refuse to change who I am. And of course, I'll be professional, whatever that colonial term means, but I'm still gonna exist as who I am and teach with who I am. I think one moment that I reflect back on when I think of meaningful times I've had in the classroom is one exchange I had between this young lady. We are doing a unit on poetry right now, and so we're having students follow the question, so much depends upon, and they would complete it with something that was meaningful to them. And so I'm asking, okay, Miss T, so much depends upon what? And she goes, my hair. Right? And she's this beautiful Black girl, chocolate skin, braids in her hair, and she didn't feel the need to explain it to anyone. She didn't feel the need to justify it, but me, I got it. As a Black teacher, as a Black woman, I got it. So much depends upon my hair. I think my greatest piece of advice to Taft students is to embrace the greatness of where you are, because it may seem super normal. You know, you've been there for a while. You may think it's normal to have laptops and teachers who are as passionate as your teachers are, but I don't know, it's not something that you will come across often. Getting to do projects, these field trips to Google and Fred Hutch and Microsoft and all these amazing places that you're going, recognize that you're in the midst of something special, and let it encourage you and motivate you to do whatever you're interested in, whatever you're passionate about. I guarantee you that if you tell a teacher you're interested in bioprinting a heart, they're going to get you in the room with someone who cares about that or who cares about teaching you how to do that. TAF educators, TAF staff, they're absolutely all about you getting to where you want to be. They're about you getting to becoming someone who's willing to champion your community, champion your family. So rely on the people around you. You know, lean into the experience. Don't take it for granted.